For a long time, the galaxy was quiet. Peace had lasted for over 300 years. Different alien races and humans worked together under a system called the Galactic Accord. It was a time when people lived without fear of war. Earth was one of the main members of this peaceful system. Olivia Brooks was a diplomat from Earth. She lived in the Earth Embassy on Luna Station, just above the moon. Her job was to make sure Earth followed all peace treaties and stayed connected with the other planets. She worked with her small team of experts and translators. Every day was the same, calm, quiet, peaceful. Then one day, everything changed. One of her assistants, Jason, called her to the control room. His face looked pale. Olivia walked in and saw something on the screen that took her breath away. At the edge of the Sol system, strange ships had appeared, but they were huge and dark. No one had ever seen anything like them before. The ships made no sound. They sent no message. They just sat there waiting. Olivia tried to contact the Galactic Council. They were already aware. These same ships had been seen near other peaceful systems. A new alien species, called the Drekar, had arrived. And they were not friendly. Reports came quickly. Oh, the Drekar had destroyed outposts. They had taken over to small planets. They gave no warning, no reason. They just attacked. The Council sent out a message to all planets. Earth was in danger. Olivia felt fear for the first time in years. She looked out the window of Luna Station. Earth looked so small from here, so blue and quiet. Could they protect it? Back on Earth, people began to hear the news. It spread fast. Television, internet, everywhere. The image of the Drekar ships appeared again and again. At first, people were worried, but something strange happened. Instead of panic, people started making jokes, called the Drekar ships big flying teapots. Someone added silly music to the alien footage. Videos went viral. People laughed. They had been through so much before. World wars, plagues, disasters. This, just another Tuesday, someone joked. Jack Miller was watching from his home in Arizona. He used to be a combat engineer during the old Mars rebellion. Now he was retired and spent his days fixing old machines. When he saw the Drekar ships, he laughed. He remembered the chaos of the old days. "Let them come," he said. "They'll be sorry." Meanwhile, on Mars Colony, the local governor, Nora Quinn, had a meeting with her team. The Drekar had sent a message there. They ordered Mars to surrender or face destruction. Nora read the message out loud during a press meeting and laughed halfway through. "Is this a joke?" She asked. "They think we'll bow to them. Not today." She posted the video online. Within hours, it had over 100 million views. People shared it with the words, "Mars stands strong." Olivia Brooks watched it all from Luna Station. She couldn't believe it. Instead of hiding or running, Earth and its colonies were mocking the enemy. It was bold, maybe foolish, but it was human. The Drekar did not respond again. Their ships just moved slowly toward Earth. The countdown to war had started. In a secret meeting room deep inside the Galactic Council station, many alien leaders were shocked by Earth's reaction. One of them asked, "Do humans not understand the danger?" Another replied, "Maybe they understand it too well. Maybe that's why they laugh." Far from fear, Earth had found something strange. Strength in humor, power in chaos. And as the Drekar drew closer, the planet did not prepare with sorrow. It prepared with a smile. Jack Miller sat on his porch with an old mug of coffee. The sun was rising over the Arizona desert. News about the Drekar ships played on his small screen. He didn't look scared. He didn't even frown. Instead, he chuckled. The reporter spoke with a serious voice, saying Earth should prepare for the worst. Jack took a sip and said, "They clearly don't know humans." Across the world, the same scene repeated. People laughed at the Drekar warnings. Instead of fear, there were memes, jokes, and silly videos. Someone posted a video of a Drekar ship edited to dance to a pop song. Another clip had a chicken flying across space with a message that read, "Earth's secret weapon." People laughed everywhere, from New York to Tokyo, from Nairobi to Sydney. On Mars Colony, Governor Nora Quinn was in her office. She looked over new reports from security. The Drekar message had repeated again, asking Mars to surrender. Nora sent back a single image of a cat wearing sunglasses. It had the words, "Try us." Her staff was nervous, but Nora smiled. They expect us to kneel. Let's surprise them. At Luna Station, Olivia Brooks watched the spread of jokes and laughter with mixed feelings. Part of her was worried. This was serious. The Drekar had real power. But another part of her understood what was happening. Humans had always fought fear with humor. It was their way. She met with a communication officer named Ryan. He showed her how social media across the galaxy was changing. "Look at this," he said. "Even some alien planets are laughing with us now." Videos of Earth's reaction had spread far. Other species were watching closely. Some were shocked, others were amused. A few even started making their own jokes about the Drekar. Down on Earth, Zoe Raymond was in her small room filled with screens and wires. She was a hacker and tech expert. She didn't work for the government. She worked for herself. But when she saw the Drekar's communication pattern, she became curious. She studied their signals. Something strange stood out. The Drekar systems didn't seem to understand human emotions. Their tech filtered out things like sarcasm, jokes, and music. To them, Earth's response was just noise. Zoe smiled. "Maybe we can use that." She wrote a code that collected thousands of human jokes, sounds, and funny videos. Then she mixed them into a strange signal and sent it straight toward one of the Drekar ships. She didn't expect a reply. But the next day, reports said that the ship near Saturn had paused. It had stopped moving for 6 hours. Then it started spinning in circles before moving again. Scientists had no explanation. Zoe leaned back in her chair. Looks like they got the message. Meanwhile, the Earth Defense Council met in a hidden base under the Rocky Mountains. Commander Ethan Cole stood at the front of the room. He was serious but calm. "The Drekar want to fight." "Fine, but we won't fight like they expect." He showed a plan. Earth's old ships would be upgraded. AI bots from the old wars would be reactivated. But the key was confusion. Music, light, sound, and chaos. "We'll give them something they've never seen before," Ethan said. A battlefield full of madness. People around the world signed up to help. Engineers, artists, coders, comedians. The defense wasn't just about weapons. It was about creativity. It was about showing the Drekar that Earth would never break. On the edge of the solar system, the Drekar ships moved slowly forward. Inside their cold metal halls, their leaders watched human messages with growing confusion. They could not understand what they saw. Why were humans laughing at danger? Why were they not afraid? What kind of species finds humor in the face of war? The answer was simple. Humans. Commander Ethan Cole walked through the underground base in Colorado. The halls were busy. Engineers carried tools. Soldiers trained with old combat drones. Artists painted symbols on the walls. Musicians tested strange sound machines. This was not a normal war room. It was more like a mix between a concert hall and a science lab. Ethan stopped by a table where Zoe Raymond was working. Wires, speakers, and old computer parts covered her space. She had a big smile on her face. "I think I found something fun," she said. She showed him a screen. It had strange patterns. This is how the Drekar systems react to emotion. They can't read it, but they try. And when they fail, their systems freeze for a few seconds. Ethan leaned closer. "Can we use that in the field?" "Yes," Zoe said. "We turn our signals into a mess of jokes, sound clips, music, and random images. It becomes like a virus to them. Their ships don't know what to do with it." Ethan nodded. "Do it. Load it into every ship we have. Across the planet, old ships were pulled from museums, storage, and junkyards. Mechanics like Jack Miller were called back to help. Jack worked on an old Mars gunship. He laughed when he saw its broken engine. "It's like fixing a toaster with a hammer," he said. But he got it working. Young coders and old pilots stood side by side. Some ships had battle AI from the last century. Others had speakers taped to the wings. One even had a giant screen showing comedy shows. It was not high-tech. It was strange, but it worked. In orbit around the moon, the first test flight began. A small drone ship flew toward, a Drekar scout ship. The drone played a mix of music, laughter, and jokes. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the Drekar ship paused. Its lights flickered. It slowly turned away. Cheers broke out in the control room. Olivia Brooks was there. She saw the reaction. "They're confused," she said. They don't understand us. The news spread. Not just on Earth, but across the galaxy. Alien races watched humans fight fear with comedy and noise. Some thought it was foolish, others thought it was brave. A few even started copying the idea. On a small moon near the edge of Drekar space, a group of rebels from another alien world tried using human-style signals. They played Earth music and videos during an ambush. The Drekar fell back. In the Galactic Council, leaders held a secret meeting, said Earth's methods are not logical, but they are working. Another said maybe logic is not the answer anymore. Maybe chaos is. Back on Earth, Ethan Cole stood before the new fleet. It was a strange sight. Some ships had wild colors, others looked like flying junk, but they were ready. Ethan gave a short speech. We don't fight like they do. We don't scare like they do. We fight with heart, with soul, with madness. That's what makes us strong. Zoe stood beside him, she added, and with bad jokes. Don't forget the jokes. Laughter filled the room. Then the sirens sounded. The Drekar were moving closer. It was time. Earth's defenders climbed into their ships. Engines roared to life. Lights flashed. Music played. The human fleet rose into the sky, loud and proud. Somewhere far away, inside a Drekar command ship, the leader watched the human ships on the screen. He saw flashing lights, strange signals, and a message that repeated again and again. Ready or not, here we come. The Drekar did not understand, but they would. The battle started above Jupiter. The sky was filled with bright colors and moving ships. The Drekar fleet came in a tight line, their black ships sharp and silent. They moved like machines, cold and perfect. Earth's ships were the opposite. They flew in wild patterns, lights flashing, music playing from every speaker. Commander Ethan Cole was in the lead ship, the Echo Hawk. On his screen, he saw the Drekar closing in. Let them hear us, he said. His team turned on the sound blasters. Rock music, comedy clips, and laughter filled space. The Drekar ships stopped for a second. Their systems tried to read the signals but failed. Lights on their ships blinked in strange ways. Captain Leo Brooks flew beside Ethan. His ship had old graffiti on the sides, and 2 giant speakers mounted on the front. He grinned. Time to turn up the volume. He launched a series of small drones. Each one played different music and showed images of dancing animals, loud clowns, and cooking shows. The drones flew close to the Drekar ships, spreading noise and confusion. Inside one Drekar ship, the crew tried to understand what was happening. Their screens showed flashing lights, random sounds, and human laughter. Their commander gave orders, but half the systems were frozen. The ship started to spin slowly. Earth's ships moved fast. They didn't follow any rules. Some flew upside down. Others sent out fake distress signals that confused Drekar scanners. A few launched smoke bombs and fireworks. Zoe Raymond watched the data from her control center on Luna Station. She saw the Drekar systems breaking down. It's working, she said. They don't know what to do. Olivia Brooks stood behind her, eyes wide. This is not war, she said. This is something else. On the battlefield, one of the Drekar cruisers fired a beam at an Earth ship. The ship shook but stayed together. It played a loud sound clip of someone yelling, "You missed." The beam stopped. The Drekar ship paused, then it began turning in circles, trying to reset its systems. Captain Leo saw it. That's our chance. He and his team flew close. They used magnet boots to land on the Drekar hull. With cutting tools and portable speakers, they entered the ship. Inside, it was dark and cold. Walls moved like they were alive, but the humans kept going. They placed sound bombs in key rooms. Each bomb played a different type of chaos, baby crying, loud laughing, even old cartoon sounds. The ship's systems couldn't handle it. The main AI began to shut down. The humans reached the control room. The Drekar officers were there, confused and disoriented. Leo raised his hands. We're not here to talk. We're here to party. He pushed a button, and the whole ship filled with a loud song and flashing lights as the Drekar fell back, covering their heads. Ethan's voice came through the speaker. Good work, Leo. We'll take it from here. Soon, Earth's ships surrounded the Drekar cruiser. The Drekar raised no weapons. They shut down. One of them even tried to copy the human laugh, but it came out as a strange robotic sound. News of the victory spread fast. People on Earth cheered. The kids danced in the streets. Aliens on far planets watched the battle videos and laughed for the first time. In the Galactic Council, one leader said, "We used to think the Drekar were unstoppable, but humans showed us a new kind of power." Olivia sent a message to all allies. "This is just the beginning. We are not afraid." The Drekar had never seen such a fight. They expected fear. They got music. They wanted silence. They got noise. They came to conquer. Instead, they met madness. They lost. Across the galaxy, people talked about what happened near Jupiter. The Drekar had lost. Not because of stronger weapons or smarter ships, but because of something no one expected. Human laughter, human chaos, human madness. On Earth, the news spread everywhere. Every screen showed clips from the battle. Some showed the dancing drones. Others showed Captain Leo's boarding mission. People could not stop watching. They laughed, cheered, and felt proud. In a small school in Africa, children watched the videos and copied the dancing drones. In a city on Mars, teenagers painted pictures of ships with speakers and lights. On a moon station near Saturn, a group of engineers made a parade to celebrate. The Drekar, once feared, now looked confused and weak. Their cold order had been broken by joy and sound. In the Drekar home system, things were not calm. The leaders argued. Some wanted to strike back with full force. Others said the humans were too strange to fight in normal ways. The general shouted, "They are not warriors. They are something else." But no one had answers. In a quiet room on Luna Station, Olivia Brooks was in a call with leaders from other planets. On the screen were faces from many species. Some had scales, others had glowing skin. One had no face at all. They all asked the same question. What are humans really? Olivia spoke calmly. We are many things. We cry, we laugh, we fight, and we love. But when someone threatens us, we do not freeze. We stand up. Sometimes we dance. Some alien leaders nodded. Few even smiled. One leader from the planet Relic said, "We want to help. We don't have strong weapons, but we have strong music." Another leader from a gas giant colony said, "Our ships can carry sound. Let us join your fleet." Across the stars, support for Earth began to grow. Ships from different systems started flying toward the Sol system. They did not come with silent guns. They came with lights, color, and sound. Meanwhile, Zoe Raymond was working on a new idea, where she sat in her small lab, surrounded by wires and broken speakers. Her plan was simple. She wanted to create a virus, not to harm, but to confuse. A digital code filled with jokes, dancing, strange noises, and weird images. She called it the Chaos Pulse. Zoe tested it on an old Drekar AI core they had recovered. The result made her laugh out loud. The machine tried to understand the code, but gave up. Its screen filled with dancing ducks, spinning pizzas, and a man singing badly. "Perfect," Zoe said. She sent the code to Ethan Cole and the rest of the team. They prepared to send the pulse across space. Captain Leo flew missions near the edge of Drekar space. With each pass, they dropped small devices called echo beacons. Odd beacons played music, human laughter, and messages of defiance. The Drekar ships began to retreat. Some stopped moving, others spun in circles. One ship even began copying the human sounds. It played a strange version of Earth's anthem, but the notes were all wrong. People called it the Drekar remix. It became a top video online. Back at the Galactic Council, more leaders joined Earth's side. They saw that humans were not afraid. They were creative. They were strange. But they were strong in a way the galaxy had never seen before. Ethan Cole stood before a group of new allies. "We are not the biggest or the smartest, but we are loud, wild, and impossible to predict. That is our power." And the galaxy began to believe it. The Drekar still had ships. They still had weapons. But something had changed. Their power was not enough anymore. Their silence had been broken. And Earth, once seen as a simple planet, had become something much more. A symbol. A spark, a loud shining light in the middle of the stars. The war was over. After the destruction of the Drekar command base, their fleet lost control. Their systems failed. Many of their ships powered down and drifted in space. Some surrendered. Some vanished into deep space, never to be seen again. Earth had won. But the victory was not quiet. It was loud, colorful, and full of music. On every planet, people celebrated. They danced in the streets, sang in the skies, and painted their ships with wild colors. Captain Leo Brooks and his team returned to Earth. Their ship, the Firefly, was covered in drawings and messages from other planets. Children waved as it landed. Crowds cheered. People threw flowers. Leo stepped out and said, "We just showed the galaxy what it means to be human." Zoe Raymond became a hero. Her Chaos Pulse became a symbol of freedom. She stood on stage at the Earth Unity Festival, holding a small speaker that had played the final song inside the Drekar base. "We didn't just win with weapons," she said. "We won with ideas." Commander Ethan Cole stood with her. He looked tired but proud. The Drekar wanted silence. We gave them noise. They wanted fear. We gave them laughter. On Luna Station, Olivia Brooks met with the Galactic Council. She stood before leaders of over 50 alien worlds. Her voice was calm but strong. This war was not just about Earth, it was about all of us. They wanted control. But we showed them that freedom lives in chaos, in music, in art, and in the human heart. The Council agreed. A new treaty was signed, not just for peace, but for unity. It was called the Accord of Echoes. It said that no voice would be silenced, no song forbidden, and no mind controlled. Ships from different planets flew together now. Mixed crews explored the stars. Earth was no longer seen as a young and simple world. It was now known as the Planet of Echoes. At night, lights covered Earth's skies. Not weapons, but fireworks. Not warnings, but messages of hope. Children in schools learned the story of how laughter broke a great empire. Artists made songs about the battle over Jupiter. Pilots painted their ships with faces of smiling heroes. Even some Drekar who had left their fleet returned. They had seen something in the humans that they could not explain. They asked to live in peace, to learn, to laugh. One Drekar child was shown a video of a dancing robot that once flew in battle. The child smiled for the first time. On Mars Colony, Governor Nora Quinn held a small event. She stood in front of a crowd and said, "We face darkness. We answered with light." The crowd clapped. Then music started. People began to dance, just like they had during the battle. It had become a tradition. Years passed, but the story did not fade. It was told in every corner of the galaxy. People remembered the chaos drones, the song bombs, and the ship that shouted jokes through space. And they remembered the message that went with them all. We are human, we are loud, and we are not afraid. Back in Arizona, Jack Miller sat on his porch. He watched the stars. He sipped his coffee and smiled. "Told you," he said to no one. No, they didn't know who they were messing with. The sky above twinkled. Somewhere out there, new voices were rising. And if danger ever came again, Earth would be ready. With more music, more madness, laugh that echoed across the stars.